Hi everybody, I'm Gwendolyn Sterk from Sterk Family Law, and I'm privileged today to have Keith Pekau, the Mayor of Orland Park, with me today. Thanks for coming out.
Gwen, thanks for having me.
You know, our firm joined the Will County Economic Development Commission, and I thought that it was important that we do that and also become part of the I-80 corridor and the I-80 Alliance, because our clientele are on that road every day. And the other thing that I think is an important statistic for us to keep in mind is that they're telling me that 3.5% of the GEP, right?
3.5% of the GDP of all of the U.S. travels that road.
Unbelievable, right through
87%, my understanding is roughly 87%, maybe it's a little bit less, of all goods in Illinois go through that corridor, either on the I-80 or through the rails that are in the corridor.
Interesting, and then you think about Will County too. Just in general, we have then the the airports that are located. I'm not talking about the third new airport, but there's still airport transportation. There's the river that certainly, we see the barges coming through between the trains, the trucks that are there. What an unbelievable economic future we have here.
For Orland, Tinley, and Mokena, that I-80 corridor, which it's the Chicago Southland Interstate Alliance, the 307 Alliance together, that we've agreed to try and jointly market the region, because we all have similar goals for that region.
Right.
We have access to all of the I-55, I-57, 294,
Absolutely.
I mean, on and on, 355. So we have all of these things within minutes of that corridor, so we can bring labor in and things out. So it's a highly attractive corridor, which is why one of the reasons the three of us have agreed we don't want to see this being a warehousing district.
Absolutely.
There's enough of that in Will County. There's a lot of places for that in Will County, but there's not a lot of places for business services, science, technology, engineering, math type of businesses. So we'd like that to be more of, that's what we'd like to see in this corridor, and we all agree on that. So
now, when you form this, with regard to the Chicago Southland Interstate Alliance, you came together and you have a board. Tell us how it operates together.
So we came together basically through meetings with the mayor of Mokena, the mayor of Tinley. We talked about it and we said, we think this would be a good idea. Let's jointly work on this together. And so we said, okay, well, we need to, what would the makeup of this? So the makeup is, it's public and private.
Okay.
And so we have the mayors of the three towns.
Right.
We have one board member from each of the three towns.
Sure.
And then we also have one business from each of the three towns that is in the I-80 corridor. For Orland, it's American Technical Publishers, it's Ozinga for Mokena, and Panduit for Tinley Park.
Sure.
And then we have the Will County CED, which is very important because they identify a lot of potential projects going to the area, and then also the Chicago Southland Chamber. So we have 11 members. The 3 voting members are the 3 mayors.
And it's interesting because coming together, you can promote each other, and you have everything to benefit. I mean, it's not just
a rising tide lifts all boats, and this competing for projects with one another, we've agreed to that in principle as well. We're not going to compete. We're not going to bid with one another with someone coming in and compete against one another and drive our own benefits down.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we've agreed on that as well, and that's how this will stay alive. Is that as everybody honors their kind of their word, their commitment, and essentially what we've agreed is this is going to be a marketing arm where we all market this region together, because we have so many assets in the region. There's between the 3 towns, there's 20,000 acres of forest preserve either in or touching our towns.
Right.
We all have great schools.
Right.
We have park systems that are amazing. You have a nice, quaint downtown in Mokena.
Sure.
Tinley has its own character. Orland Park has all the retail and restaurants.
Right.
I mean, we all have things to offer. And when
Absolutely.
if somebody moves their businesses in there, people may choose to live in Mokena. They may choose to live in Tinley or Orland or maybe even Frankfort or New London. There's a lot of places they can go.
Right, but they're all going to do business in that community.
But they're going to do business in this community, and we're all going to benefit from that wherever it goes.
Now, are there specific projects that in particular you've worked on that would be in that corridor?
So the one that I started with was Amazon, and that was actually when the CSA, we were just kind of talking about it, and Amazon came through, and I heard about it late, and so I jumped on it, and there was a fair amount of pushback of, oh, we have no chance, and everyone that was involved had very little chance.
Sure.
But the reality is that one, you put yourself through the exercise of getting everything together.
Right.
So you figure out what the assets you have in the region, what the assets you have in town, how to market it, how to put all that together. So you put that together, and we did. Went to the state of Illinois. State of Illinois passed us through the first round onto the second. Now they ended up not submitting us, but the interesting thing is now the state of Illinois and Illinois Intersect knew who we were.
Right,
so
they know what you are and what you have to offer.
They know what we have to offer, and so now they reach out. And it also started that relationship that I have with Illinois Intersect, or Intersect Illinois. And so when they hear about things, they pass it to us. And sometimes it doesn't fit for Orland Park.
Sure.
And I'll pass it on. I've passed stuff on to East Hazelcrest. I've passed stuff on to Lamont because it doesn't fit for us.
Right.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't fit in the region.
That's
and
right.
we benefit if
That's
our neighbors
right.
to the east or our neighbors to the west, anyone who develops around us,
Right.
we still benefit.
Absolutely.
And so those relationships were important. And the fact that we did all that effort with Amazon, now we've had some others that have come across, and
Sure.
now the USDA has 160,000 square feet. That's still a long shot, but there were 140 submittals. That they want to move out of D.C. and more to the center of the country, closer to more of their
Kind of makes
constituents.
sense, yeah.
Government making sense. There's a
There's a
change.
concept,
Yeah,
huh?
how about that? And they seem to like Illinois because out of the 140 sites, 70 of them made the cut. We were one of them, but so did like 5 or 6 other Illinois sites, which is great because if they have that many sites in the Chicagoland area, they're going to come.
Right.
And they're going to visit.
They're going to visit.
And if they visit, we have a chance of getting it.
You never know who has that information for the next development too. We're all once removed, right?
Right.
And so it's that word of mouth, like doing the first development with Amazon. Even if it didn't go through, all that work that was done, think about it. It's your book of business, so to speak.
The
It's
press that you
prepared.
get, the
Right.
fact that you're out in the marketplace, people know it exists. All of that stuff matters. And it also helps build relationships. So when they hear about the next thing, they remember you and they call
Sure.
up, and so all of those things are important for development because development does not happen overnight.
No, it takes years.
Look at our downtown triangle. It's been 18 years, and it's still got a lot that's undeveloped in there. Coming on the scene without a lot of relationships built there, we needed to build relationships, which we have now. So now we'll start seeing more and more projects, and hopefully we'll start to land stuff. And I think once we see one, then you'll see another, and you'll see another, and you'll see another. And it
But
doesn't
that
matter
gets
whether
us-
they go Mokena, Tinley, or Orland.
No, it doesn't matter. But that gets us to another big problem, though. It's called I-80.
Right.
We still have some problems. We all heard about the bridge. So what's the plan for that?
So I-80, as you'd mentioned, there's another coalition together,
Right.
the I-80 coalition, and that's a group of it's dozens,
Right.
dozens of
People from the business world,
and
government,
dozens of municipalities plus the business
Right.
world plus labor. I mean, everybody's involved in this, and the goal is to widen I-80 all the way from the Indiana border,
Right.
all the way west of Joliet.
Okay.
And the goal would be to get 8 lanes all the way, so 4 lanes each way.
It'd be
all the way
fantastic, but
across.
that's a major project.
It's a major project. It has to be completely rebuilt because I-80 is old, and
Yeah.
at today's standards, you can't just fix
Right.
it up. It
And
needs to
that-
be completely rebuilt, including those bridges. I think the
The
bridges are
bridges,
the
yeah.
first part of the project.
Right. And
We-
they're
we
putting
actually-
a Band-Aid on, but it's not going to
And
do
we
anything
actually
until
got
we
money
replace it.
for 2 big on-ramp projects. One is Route 30,
Route 30
and
right
the other,
there in
and then
Lennox,
there's another
yeah.
one further west that we got federal money for. So
Right. It's starting to trickle in, but it's
yeah,
a
when
slow move.
3.5% of the country's GDP goes on that road,
You would think that we'd get
it's
some
pretty
action.
important.
Right.
So one of the ideas is to toll it, and
Right.
a lot of the reason for that is because the toll road actually has money, and they would actually get it done quickly, probably within 6 years or so. We
And
can
that's
have
a
it
short
completely
period of
done.
time, given,
That's a very
you
short
know.
period of time to do that much
Yeah.
road work.
Exactly. But it needs to be done. We need to address it. For us, it's our clientele getting out at the courthouse, and getting,
Right.
just having the ability and the accessibility. And even when the road work is being done, where are we going to put that alternative traffic? So we're all kind of in this together.
Right.
Anybody that has any kind of business is operating in this community. But that's all part of the economic development. How much land do we have in the area between the 3 towns that you're working on?
It's roughly 700 acres, give or take.
So it's got a
It's
good
a fair
portion.
amount, and
yeah.
we already have water, sewer. We have all of that. We have fiber out in the area, so there's a lot of things in the area
That are done,
that
yeah.
are done and are readily available for a developer to come in and build.
Right.
183rd is all the way through from Wolf to Harlem, and that's the other thing I should mention. This corridor that we're talking about, this group, we're focused on Wolf Road to Harlem,
Right.
183rd Street to 191st Street. That's the corridor.
That's
we're
really the
talking
corridor.
about.
And that's where our office sits. We're really on the other side of Wolf Road there, off of 183rd. So this corridor is real important to us and to our office. So we really appreciate you coming out.
thank
It's
you
been
very
a
much.
real joy to hear this information. And
Great
so
being
what
here.
exciting news to see. So hopefully in our lifetime, I-80 will be done, huh?
I hope so. I hope it's done before I retire.
There you go. All right. Take care. Thanks.
Thanks.